Bitcoin's exploded past 82K, up 20% on the week. Same with ETH, up to about 3.2K. Sol's run to just over, well, just hit $220. So everything's on the way up. I think we haven't yet had a total crypto market cap all-time high, so that's just hit 2.8 trillion. And as you'll see on the chart, the screen today, anyone that's watching the video, that the previous high was in 2021, and that was at 2.86 trillion. So it's not far off, and I expect we'll probably blow past that this week. And I think with that, there are various indicators that it's like, well, once it blows past that, okay, where is the top? And that to me is where the analysis comes in, the objective, like looking at all these different indicators to work out, okay, well, what things should I be paying attention to as we go into price discovery, because there's no precedent. So I think that there's reference to the stock to flow model there, and there was a lot of criticism after the last bull run because people thought it had dropped off. I think there's other indicators like the fear and greed index, like that's at 61 today, which to me seemed low. And I think there's lots of different models that people use to try and work that out. So I think it's worth probably looking at a methodology that you're comfortable with, that you can rely on that particular fear and greed index to then place reliance on. Coinbase wallet downloads. So for instance, that was up 12% in the past 24 hours. And that's historically been an indicator of cycle top. So normally it's coming back to open up crypto wallets with sort of the main exchanges. You've got Google search trends. So the search for Bitcoin globally is at 59.
Oh, wow. That's a nice chart.
Yeah. So, it's 59% of where it was the highest in the peak bull, probably May 2021. So you could use like that as an indicator as well, where if you extrapolated, say, if we're at 59% now and the price is 82K, you could assume that, okay, we're going to hit 138K as like a crude estimate, just an indicator among a bunch of other indicators to work out, okay, well, where are we heading? If this reaches 100 at the same velocity, like in a linear fashion, could be a price range that we're looking at. Other indicators could be venture capital. So on DeFi Llama, you've got the funding rounds. You'll see that the highs were actually, I think it was around about, it was mid 2021 again, last time round, where they were willing to open up purse strings. So that to me is an indicator. And actually, if you look at it now, it's pretty low still. It's definitely on the uptick. And I think we're kind of pushing the highest we've seen since early 2022. So it's coming back in, but we're not nearly at those frothy levels where they're willing to just deploy capital. Exchange flows, so they're fairly neutral at the moment. So there's a chart there that you'll be able to see. So back in 2023, there was a lot of volatility in terms of how much is coming in and out of exchanges, but it's just hit all time. It's continuing to blow through price discovery at the moment, but yet the flows haven't necessarily moved too much, which to me suggests that people are just comfortable holding, or like they're not willing to move onto exchanges to then sell at this point. So that's a potential indicator. And there's a bunch of other indicators as well. Like, technical analysts use sort of RSI to see if certain assets are under or oversold, PI indicators, MACD. So there's a range of indicators. And I think that's something that I'm going to probably start tracking a little bit more detail over time, and maybe start charting that just so that I can see for myself. And maybe I'll start sharing probably through my newsletter and on the timeline occasionally when I see spikes outside of those typical movements. So so I think there's a lot of questions around when to sell. Like nobody has the answer, but you can definitely apply some science based on certain indicators that I think would probably be somewhat objective.